Hello, freak bitches. Is like in this fucking gigantic audience full of people, and this is Leonard Skinner. The crazy thing is Leonard Skinner came out of Florida before people figured out Florida sucks. See, because when I was a kid, Florida was cool, and if you're listening to this, you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Florida
if you lived
the
in
state?
Florida, yeah, Florida the state. If you listen to this, you know what I'm saying, folks. I used to live there. I lived in Gainesville.
Wow.
I used to live there for a while. But Florida back then, nobody had figured out that Florida sucks. It was like, Florida's the place to go to get away from this fucking winter. And they'd all go down there and they'd all move. And then we realized, like, it's all the dregs, all the weirdos.
Yeah, I remember
pillheads.
seeing if somebody had a T-shirt, because I grew up in Louisiana, if somebody had a T-shirt that said Florida on it, dude, that was, I mean, they were somebody, you know?
Wow, they made it.
Yeah,
They
like
got
they
to
made
Florida.
Yeah, they're like,
Really?
dang, Florida, yeah. Florida?
So Louisiana looked up to Florida.
Oh, definitely, dude, because Florida had that coastland. They had pictures of sunshine on their shirt.
That's right, sunshine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have that sun or people sitting out like an umbrella, you know?
And when you were a
Florida.
kid, they weren't infested with alligators yet either.
I don't think so. I mean, you didn't worry about it as much then. You know, if you lost somebody to an animal or something back then, I feel like it wasn't as big of a deal as it is now.
Really?
Yeah. In the 80s and 90s, if you lost somebody to an animal or an animal bite, it was more, you know, part of God's plan, I think. Whereas now it's like just something crazy that happened at Disney World. You know, it was like the biggest thing ever.
Yeah, that little kid. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
There was a
it's definitely
goddamn
sad.
monster living at Disneyland. This is how tolerant people get. They get so silly. They're like, well, he is here before us. He's probably a 17-year-old alligator. This is where he lives. This is his peaceful environment. And meanwhile, he ate a baby.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And you got to be a nasty alligator if you're sitting there. And there's probably been other choices came by. You know, there was probably a couple of, you know, young lovers that were out there by the water earlier, and you waited, you know.
You might not get a young lover, though. A young lover might fight back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and there's two of them. That's true.
I don't know, though. They worry, though. They're pretty invulnerable. You know, if you cut off an alligator's arm, it just grows back.
That's gangster.
That's as gangster as it gets. Go ahead, chop it off, bitch. I'll see you in a month with a new one.
Dude, that's the Tupac of the animal kingdom. Really, when you think about it.
2 fingers full of bullet holes headed to the ambulance, and he's throwing up his fingers. Yeah.
Dude, and how gangster alligators are. Their arms are so short and they're just so capable, man.
I'm sure you've seen the video of that new one that they found in Florida that is on a golf course, and it's like 15 feet long. It's one of the biggest gators I've ever filmed. And these people are on the golf course, and they're looking up at this gator. See if you can find it, Jamie. We can't show it on YouTube. You have to find it on YouTube because that got be pulled off Facebook. There's something happens when you have these animal videos in particular when they go on Facebook, like people own those videos. So when they go to look for, they have like an algorithm that can find it, and if it's on your page, they'll pull your whole page down.
Dang.
Yeah, they own this. But so somebody filmed, there's a couple different angles of it. A bunch of people filmed it because it was so crazy. So these people are all playing golf, and they're in the foreground, so you could see them. Like, there it is. Look at that fucking thing. Yeah. But look at the guy.
And that's a real animal, huh?
Yeah. And watch.
Wow.
You realize how big it is when you see a guy. Now watch how this guy walks in the foreground. And the guy, when the guy
It
steps
looks Turkish a little, doesn't it?
it looks fake. It looks fake. It looks fucking gigantic. Now you see how big it is.
My God.
Now you understand how big it is because you see this guy. Like, are you kidding me? And they estimated it somewhere around 15 feet.
And did they catch it?
I don't think so, man. They found it again. They found it again in a pond. See if you can find it. They rediscovered this alligator in a pond. I think that was the
I hope alligators.
title of the video.
Maybe they're making a comeback, dude. I hope something comes and attacks at some animal, dude. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to fight something.
Don't fight alligators, man. You don't want to fight them.
Well, I'll get out there and do something, man.
There's this dude that I've had on my podcast before, but his name is Jim Shockey. He's a very famous hunter from Canada, and they hired him to go to a certain river in Africa. I think it was the Congo, but I'm not sure. It might have been the Nile. Anyway, he had to go. He went down there to kill some crocodiles that were eating people. It is one of the craziest videos, man. You go there, and these villagers, like, everyone's got a stump.
Right.
Everyone's missing an arm or a hand, or
Been
they
attacked.
got a chunk bitten out of their chest. It's crazy when you look at these poor people. And they're all just living in fear. And while he was down there, a woman got taken.
Oh.
Yeah, they were upriver looking for these killer crocodiles to try to shoot them. And one of the women was washing clothes, and she just got yanked right out of the water.
God. That'd be the worst, too.
Well, it was really scary, man,
Especially
was
trying
seeing
to
the reaction.
do laundry.
Oh, yeah, right? Just
You
trying to
get
wash your
attacked.
underwear. seeing the reaction of the people that were wailing, just wailing, crying, you know, because it wasn't just like they lost someone. It's like, God, they lost another person. It's like that woman's gone now forever. She was consumed by a monster. Like that is their actual existence.
Damn.
Sitting by a river that they need its water for life, and the water is infested by monsters who are actively targeting them for food.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's crazy. That'd be like if somebody, like there was a killer in Walmart and they just didn't know who or where it was.
Constantly.
You know?
Like lions would jump out while you were eating at Walmart.
Yeah.
Or where you're buying food.
Baffling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it pretty easy, man.
Fuck,
you know?
those people must be so interesting. Like people that live under that kind of pressure, like their view of life, if we can understand their language, I bet they have like a, you know, like you listen to like, read like ancient works of literature or ancient poetry, stuff like that, and you think about it, like these are people that were going through a war, like the ancient Greeks and the ancient Romans.
Yeah.
Like you would read their words, you go, well, this is fascinating, even though it's being translated. This is the words of someone who's gone through like sword war.
Yeah.
Back when they would fight with arrows and shit, and swords and catapults, and the intensity of life back then, when death was just around every corner, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
It must be so intense to talk to someone like that.
You should fly in a pygmy or something. You thought about that?
No, but I have had my friend Justin Wren, who has been with the pygmies in the Congos for like many, many years. He goes and builds wells for them.
Wow.
Stays over there for months at a time. He's had malaria 3 times. He's going to come out again soon. He just texted me. I got to text him. We're going to find a date.
I used to be in the I used to be in the well business a little bit, not wishing wells mostly, they're not water wells, but I worked for this.
This was made by a pygmy in the Congo out of a nail. It's a little knife that Justin brought me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they take these nails, and there's one over there, too. See that nail right there on the desk? That's what it looks like. They hammer these nails out, and they turn them into knives. See, that starts out a nail that they find.
Oh, wow.
And they pound it down and sharpen it and turn it into a knife.
Yeah, dude, if history came back, if history struck back, dude, I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't make it long. I wouldn't make it long.
You'd be fine.
I'm not prepared.
For a ball, you would be, though. People are adaptable. You're a smart dude, Theo Vaughn.
I would lead. I would think a little bit. I would adapt. I'd lay low in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, like somebody
Pick your
does on
battles.
Pick my battles, dude. You'd have to kill somebody immediately. You'd have to find the first person in your group, the weakest person, and kill them in front of everybody else. Yeah. Like, you can't just stand there.
You're be like, duh. You gotta kill some dude.
Well, think about that, man. You can't stand there and just be in a conversation. You know, everybody's chatting, the group huddling, and everybody's like, you got to take somebody out right then, because that's going to show
your dominance.
100%. I mean, it's at least going to show like this dude is going to do something.
I see what you're saying, but I think if you think ahead, you would think, well, no, then they're going to think that he's arbitrarily going to always kill the weakest person. Eventually, it's going to get to no one because there's going to be the next weakest person. That guy's dead now. And the next week, like, who's to decide whether or not you're weak or you're not weak? If you were going to do that, the person would have to be either a terrible person who is victimizing other people,
Right.
or they would have to have attacked first. It would have to be or they would have to have been such a piece of shit that people were rooting for you.
Like somebody that was real chatty, and you just axed them. Dude, there's no way I'm trying to survive like the second coming of the universe, and some dude's chatty in my group, bro. Oh, that's not gonna happen.
Especially if like he fucks up some hunting parties. You're out there like, sneaking up on a pig, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's so hot out." You fuck, and the pig runs away, and everybody's hungry.
Yeah, chatty would be the first, man. I think about that kind of stuff. Like if a plane crashed, I already know I'm planned ahead, dude. I'd eat a Vietnamese guy.
Why?
Because that's easy. It's a starter move. If you attack somebody bigger, if you eat somebody bigger in front of other people, it's going to alarm people. But you
got to eat a small person, so stature is important.
I think if you gum down a Viet, people aren't going to be that upset at you.
Well, the Vietnamese people are going to be super upset. What are you talking about?
No,
Somebody's
okay.
dad.
Yeah, they're more understanding of things, dude.
Is this a character you're playing?
No. But if you eat a black lady and her family's there, they're going to be pissed.
So you think a Vietnamese person would let you slide?
I think that they'd be much more forgiving over a couple of day period.
I think
their relatives. You don't think so? Honestly.
Well, one thing, no, I don't think so. I definitely think they'd be super pissed at you, especially modernized ones. But what is interesting is like Vietnam is one of the few places where Americans can go back to Vietnam and they don't seem to hold any grudge at all.
Exhibit A. Exhibit A, man, honestly. Well, Asian people in general are just much more forgiving and understanding, it seems like. I feel like. I think. I mean, I don't have much.
I think that's a giant generalization.
It probably is, you know. I mean, I did a fast for like 4 days, and then I was at the Best Buy, and I remember this Vietnamese guy was trying to help me out, and I couldn't even hear him. I was so hungry, and I couldn't.
You did a fast for 4 days?
Oh, dude, yeah.
What were you trying to prove?
I don't know, man. I was probably just dealing with some stuff, and I was just trying to find a different way to handle it, you know?
Right.
And then I remember this Vietnamese guy, and I remember thinking, if everybody turned the other way for a second, I could eat this young fella, you know? Ben. His name was Ben, actually, over there in Westwood. But I'd never thought. Oh my
God, it's so ridiculous.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing: I'd never thought that before.
So you only thought you got to the verge of cannibalism after just 4 days?
Yeah.
Damn. How much weight did you lose?
I probably lost about 4 pounds, but pounds I needed too. You
Wow.
know? But I got clear, man. I could hear. Swear to God, y'all could hear somebody fold a piece of bread from 80 feet away, bro. I was so hungry, dude. I could hear a fucking skittle hit the cement across the street. I really could, man.